Hello, my name is Regan Addis, and I'm one of the founders of the Mindfulness Association, along with my teacher and friend Rob Nairn and my dear colleague Choden. I first met Rob Nairn in the early 2000s, and my first memory of him was sitting in the Mechanics Institute in Whaley Bridge, where I used to live in Derbyshire, and seeing him on the stage teaching, and my mind was completely blown away. The things that he was saying to me rang so true, but at the same time seemed so contrary to every other aspect of learning I had so far taken part in my life. And I remember sitting there thinking to myself, my goodness, that's got to be the coolest job in the world. Little thinking that it would ever be anything that I would be able to do. One of my most treasured possessions is my copy of Diamond Mind, which I have here, which Rob signed for me in July 2004 for Heather, wishing you joy in life. And following Rob's teachings has given me so much joy and massively opened up the opportunity for joy and happiness in my life. In 2009, he asked me to join the team of teachers that went on to become the Mindfulness Association. And he clearly saw something within me that I didn't see in myself. I doubted myself. I had a real sense of imposter syndrome for many years, but he always had total confidence in me. So I used to sometimes think to myself, well, if Rob thinks that I can do this, then I probably can, even in those times where I thought there's no way I can do this. And due to Rob's confidence in me, I've been able to work as a teacher, develop my teaching practice. I've been able to be involved in the running of the Mindfulness Association over the last almost 15 years now, developing it into what it is today. So I have a deep debt of gratitude to Rob in terms of my personal meditation practice, the way that my mind has developed over the years to be more open and allowing, less perfectionist, more accepting, and I'll never be able to repay that debt. It was just an astonishing debt of gratitude that I owe to Rob. I think the final lesson he gave me was in unconditional acceptance. When I went to visit him a few weeks before he died, I went over to South Africa and spent a week with him and his sister Margaret. It was a real privilege to spend this time with him, and what I experienced was his total unconditional acceptance of his experience in those last weeks of his life, and the grace and the humour with which he allowed himself to be cared for by those around him. It made it a pleasure for those around him to care for him, and I found it, as always, completely inspirational. I loved Rob very much, and I miss him, but I will carry him and his teachings in my heart and in my mind for the whole of my life. And my wish for the Mindfulness Association and my wish for my own personal teaching practice is to continue his legacy, which is extraordinary. In order to celebrate Rob's life and his contribution to mindfulness and meditation, and his continuous commitment to teaching so as to help relieve unnecessary suffering in people's lives, we're holding a weekend on the 30th of August, based around the concepts of his book, Living, Dreaming and Dying. And as part of that, I'll be offering a session on living well to die well, but also creating the conditions for everybody to share their experiences of Rob and how his teachings have touched their lives, how connection with Rob has transformed people's lives. So I hope that you will join us there at this weekend. And we are charging for this weekend, but that's because our wish is to raise funds to fund a bursary to get some research done in Rob's name in the area of insight meditation. So thank you.